What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Allen. This is the Movie Minute. This episode of the Movie Minute, we're talking about the new Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And so, if you are wondering whether this movie is worth a theater visit, stick around. All right, so let's talk about this new Hunger Games prequel. It is directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed all the other Hunger Games movies except the original. And I will say, the Hunger Games trilogy, I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy of books. And I really was a big fan of the original movies as well. I think they were really well adapted. I will be honest with you, I kind of this time felt a little guilty seeing this movie in theaters because I truly believe that most of the time you should read the book before you see the movie, and I will admit I have not read the book, but I can say that this film made me want to read it. Okay, so let's talk about the plot just from a 50,000 foot level. Basically, it's about Coriolanus Snow, who is the bad guy. You know, he's the ruler of Panem in the Hunger Games. He's had the Hunger Games go on for 75 years, right? And so this is his origin story, but it's really about the 10th Hunger Games and how the Hunger Games shifted from more of a punishment into kind of a televised event. And so that is the gist of the movie, and it surrounds, Coriolanus is played by Tom Blythe. Lucy Gray is the main female character in it, played by Rachel Zegler. And so they are kind of, Rachel is one of the people who is selected from one of the districts, and then Coriolanus is the mentor, right? So let's jump in and talk about the things that I liked. Okay, first and foremost, I think the style of this film is really, really good. I loved that they got Francis Lawrence to direct again, because I feel like it really felt like we were back in that world. It felt like Panem. It truly had all the look and feel and just kind of essence that truly came to be something really amazing in the original films. The world of Panem was so vibrant but sad, and like just all of the political intrigue and things going on inside that world was so fascinating. And obviously Francis came back and captured that. I will say that the film is directed very, very well. I really enjoyed all of the direction. I enjoyed the cinematography. I enjoyed the sound, the editing. I really enjoyed the performances. The performances are really, really good. Tom Blythe is amazing. He really connects with you on screen. There's something about that guy's eyes that are just encapsulating. You're kind of like totally drawn in every time he's on screen. Rachel Zegler does a really good job. There's some interesting moments with her, but I think her performance was really well portrayed. And ultimately, Viola Davis, again, I mean, I guess it shouldn't even be a surprise, but the woman absolutely steals the show as like the head game maker scientist of Panem at the time. And she just, I mean, every scene she's in, you're just like, whoa. She just exudes this character, and it's scary. It really is actually scary. I mean, the movie actually moved pretty well, even though it's a really long movie. I felt like the whole time you're leaning in, and that's great. So let's talk about a few things I didn't like. First and foremost, one of the things I didn't like is just a casualty of taking a book and turning it into a movie. And it's that I could totally tell that things were missing in this movie. And it's hard to make the call of like what you leave in and what you take out when you're adapting a book to the screen. And I think that they did a fairly good job with it, but there were some really key things that I was like, wait, I don't understand this. And I knew that was because it's probably explained a lot more clear in the book. So the character arcs in the film are a little bit quick to develop. And what I mean is, like, when we see these kind of character changes throughout the film, some of them happen very quickly and they don't feel authentic, but I feel like they had to do it because the book is so long. You know, it's a big book that you're trying to shove into like 2.5 hours. And I mean, it's a 2.5 hour movie, and it still felt like there were things that we didn't know. And so that made me a little bit sad, but it also made me want to read the book. So maybe that's a win-win for them. Rachel Zegler's character, she's obviously the songbird in the film. And so she has some musical things that surround her character arc, and they just didn't actually mesh really well with the film. And so I was a little bit bummed about that. Also with Tom Blythe, who plays Coriolanus Snow, his character arc, like I said, it just changes too quickly. Like, I think that there's a shift in the movie that happens that I just fully didn't believe. It just happened too quick for me. So, all right, so let's talk about ratings. From an entertainment rating, this was a really entertaining movie. I really found this movie extremely enjoyable. I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10 for entertainment-wise. And I think from a critic's rating, I'd also give it an 8 out of 10. I really liked the film. I think there's a lot of things going well for this film, and Francis Lawrence directed it very well, and so it landed well with me. So averaged out 8 out of 10 for me for The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. From a badge standpoint, I think this is a popcorn bucket for me. I mean, it's fun. There's a lot of movies in theaters right now, and I think that a lot of them are going to be worthy of a popcorn bucket, but this is definitely a movie that is worthy of a theater experience. I will speak to really quick to the family aspect of this as well. I mean, the nature of these books is not for children. These aren't movies for kids. I know that kids are in the movie, but this movie is very dark, and it is a hard PG-13 for themes. Like, the themes in the movie, and that's something I want to touch on just really quick here at the end, is with these films, The Hunger Games really is about war and how war affects people. And I really think that they present those ideas really, really well in this movie. And it's just the idea that, like, in war, there are no winners. I know that the world talks about, like, hey, war, there's victors and there's losers, and that's the way the world is. And I would challenge a lot of people that say that worldview and just say, like, war is really just like, it's a lose-lose for everyone. Like, it just hurts everyone. No one really truly is a victor in war. And if you read the original trilogy of The Hunger Games, you really get that. And that's something that I love about these books that cause us to really look at that and think about how war affects us. So, at the end of the day, Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, really fun movie, really well made. Not a movie you want to take your family to, but absolutely a movie that's worthy of a theater ticket. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe. Would love to have you on this journey with me. And until next time, everybody, peace out.